Okay, guys, second base is a game total that you're going to be targeting. So, Paul, which is it?
I'm going to go to the O's Jays game. The O's snapped a 10-game road losing streak last night and turned to Matt Harvey to continue those winning ways. Not going to happen tonight. He's just incapable of limiting runners, having allowed a 151 whip on the year. Over his last 4 starts, he's allowed 30 base runners over 21 innings pitched, mixing in 5 homers along the way. It's that latter propensity that makes me think he's in for a rough ride tonight. Meanwhile, Steven Matz, the Jays' number 5 starter, is another guy who tends to give up better than a hit per inning with 51 allowed over his last 48 and a third innings pitched. I think the hitting shoes will be run things tonight for both sides, and the clubs combined to go over the game total of 10 runs.
All right, Erik, which game total are you going to be targeting?
I'm looking at another over. We'll go to the Brewers-Giants game instead of over at 7.5 runs at minus 115. These two teams are averaging 9.4 runs per game, so nearly 2 runs above that level. This is in a pitcher-friendly park in San Francisco, but you'd have to trust the pitchers in quite a lot to keep it under. Kevin Gausman on the Giants side, I think, is the reason this line is so low. He's been excellent this season, 2.49 ERA. It's maybe a bit better than the peripherals suggest, but he's been great even by those. 28.8% strikeout rate against the 7.5% walk rate. Not much wrong with that. He has been worse in the second half, though, and that's the reason why I'm comfortable going with the over here. A 4.82 ERA in the second half, with that strikeout rate falling down to a merely above average 24.6%. So if this isn't peak Kevin Gausman like we saw earlier in the year, and then we got Brett Anderson on the other side, who is fine, lefty who gets a ton of ground balls, 60.1% ground ball rate, 4th highest among pitchers who've thrown at least 80 innings. But he also has the 7th lowest strikeout rate at just 14.8%. And he has an 8.53 ERA in his last 3 starts. So he's a mid-rotation kind of guy at best. And Gausman has actually looked more like that so far in the second half. I think when you got 2 good lineups against those pitchers, getting to 8 runs shouldn't be hard to do.
All right, Garion, where are you going?
Yeah, I already talked about some of the game totals I like, so let's talk about an inning total I like. No run in the first for that Red Sox-Rays game. I think this sets up really well to be a low-scoring contest, as both Erik and Paul were talking about, specifically in the early innings, because you do have longevity concerns with both of these starters, but they've looked fantastic the first time through the order so far this season. Sale, in particular, just a 160 slugging percentage the first time through in his first 3 starts of 2021. He has yet to allow a run the first time through the batting order. Drew Rasmussen, converted reliever anyway, so he's got that 2-pitch mix thing, primarily fastball slider, about 96% of the time. You really only see the issue with a 2-pitch mix the second and third time through the batting order. So I think with those 2 guys on the mound, with the success they've had so far this season, also with guys like Xander Bogaerts unavailable, Kike Hernandez, that really weakens the top third of that Boston Red Sox lineup. So at minus 120, no run in the first in that contest seems like a really smart bet.